What you didn't hear taught about history in school is as important as what you did hear. Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute Torah, day 1 of Shemot, as we enter into the second book of the Torah. Let's start with chapter number 1, the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. And these are the names of the children of Israel who came to Mitzrayim with Yaakov, each one with his household. Reuben, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all those who were descendants of Yaakov were 70 beings, as Joseph was already in Mitzrayim. And Joseph died, and all of his brothers, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful, and increased very much, and multiplied, and became very strong, and the land was filled with them. Then a new sovereign arose over Mitzrayim who did not know Joseph. Things are about to change. That's the one certainty that we can expect in life, is that things are going to change. We struggle, we endeavor, we invest, we persevere, we work hard to get to a place where there is a sense of normalcy, a sense of stability and security. We don't realize that it's at that point, wherever that might be in our life, is kind of where we plateau. What it should be seen, however, is that you have laid a foundation that has been tested, that is secure, it's proven to be stable. Now you can build on it. It is when we stop, when we sit down, when we cease from our struggle or our call to endeavor or to persevere, that we relax. We let down our guard, and we feel like everything is done. Now let's just sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labors. Well, that's not going to be the case. Yeshua even gave us a parable of the one man who had had a bumper crop, an overwhelming crop. He tore down all of his storehouses and built bigger because he needed more space. Why didn't he just add to what he already had? Or why did he not look around and say, I have more than I can possibly use. I need to give to the poor. Yeshua's announcement was, you fool, tonight your soul is going to be required of you. One thing is also certain, you can't take whatever it is that you've accumulated with you. Not materially. There are works, there are growths, there are achievements that will follow after you, live on in the descendants that you leave behind, but also will be laid up for rewards in the life that is yet to come. History. It says here, these are the names. The word names there in Hebrew is the title of this Torah portion, Shemot. The names. Traditionally, this is a book about the Exodus, or at least that's the way it has been presented to us. Actually, scripturally, this book is about the story of the journey of those who had these names and their descendants. This is the history of those who had recognized names. There are a lot of folks that would like to achieve stardom, fame, having everyone know who they are by their picture or by their name. Applaud you for whatever your achievements might be. Fame is fleeting. There are those that have fame for 5 minutes and it's gone. And all that they endeavored to do and work for, in a moment, it's gone. They're replaced by the next new star, the next new hot item. History, though, is about those whose names have been recognized and we remember them. And the American history, in my American history class, I remember we learned about Crispus Attucks. Now, who in the world is that? It's the first person to die in the American Revolution. It just so happens that he was a black man. And while society would have shunned him perhaps in that day, and for many generations after that, he would have been considered a lower status person. Yet because he shed blood had been shed, even if it was by someone that we held in low esteem at the time. Blood had been shed, and so it's on. Names are important if we remember them. Everybody can recall George Washington. Everybody can recall Thomas Jefferson, and on, these famous leaders in our American history. We look at those who've done great exploits. And you may think, well, nobody knows my name. Outside of my limited small circle of acquaintances, friends, and co-workers, nobody really knows who I am. That may be where we're all wrong. Because in the events that are chronicled in the heavens, as individuals are marked from the throne of the Most High, there are many, I would say, that are unknown to the masses. Heaven knows exceptionally well. They've been watching, maybe since the time prior to one's birth. They've been waiting. There they are. They have been born. Now things began to change. And they watch in their timelessness as the individual grows, matures, enters into whatever stage of life that is going to be consequential for them. And they watch as they engage in the things that maybe no one else in the world knows anything about. But they prayed a particular prayer, or they engaged in a certain conversation, or they offered a certain mitzvah, a good deed that caused a following of events. You never know how it is that Yah is going to use an individual. And who is to say that all of your history has already been written? If you are alive to hear the sound of my voice, and you are, then there is still an opportunity at some point for you to say something, pray something, do something, offer something, learn something, share something that is going to make an impact. It may not be a ripple on your pond, but it could be a tidal wave on someone else's. So what do? We live each day recognizing that I'm not limited to my accumulated history to this point. I'm not finished yet. I'm not done yet. And know this also, things are going to change. They always change. And so you may feel limited by previous circumstances. You may feel boxed in and say, I'll never break out of this. Things change. There was a period of time where the Hebrews were blessed and prosperous and multiplying. The land was filled with them. Things looked good. Instantly, somehow there is a regime change. Historically, if I'm not mistaken, a new dynasty is what is being referenced here. The previous lineage of pharaohs were replaced by another set of pharaohs, and these had no history of Joseph or his family. So things change, but though it starts out as we continue to read this under pressure and harshness and servitude, things are not finished changing. So you may indeed experience some change. You get up, you're about to go through your normal routine of your day, and something happens, a phone call, a meeting, an encounter somehow. And you think, oh no, this is not the change that I've been looking for. Don't panic. Hang in there, because change is not always done completely in a moment's time. It could be, are you ready for this? A season of change. Be prepared for a season of change. America's changing. A lot of things are going to change in the next year or so. What about us? We're not limited to the American experience. We're talking about kingdom life and all that Yah is getting ready to do. Hold on. It may be an awesome ride, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, shalom.